Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you're running an agency or maybe a competitive local business and you use a platform like HighLevel, you know the promise.
Oh, absolutely. Seamless automation, amazing funnels, everything under one roof.
Mhm.
It's a powerful OS.
It is. But then you get to search engine optimization, especially local SEO, and suddenly it's just chaos. The noise, and let's be blunt, some really bad advice floating around in those operator communities, it's deafening.
It's a huge problem.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our mission today is to cut right through that misinformation. We want to find the real revenue-driving strategies to actually rank a high-margin local business using the assets you already have.
Right. And we're moving past the simple checklists.
Far beyond them. We're focusing on what the source material we dug into calls an advanced basics framework. It's positioned as this corrective system built from actual measurable results.
And what's so fascinating to me is how it immediately shifts the goalposts. It's not about just, optimizing a website and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
It's about ranking the entire business, the verified business entity. And for you listening, this is so important. Understanding where to put your time and your energy for the absolute highest ROI, especially now in this AI-driven search world.
That's the core pivot, isn't it? So let's tackle the elephant in the room right away.
The big one.
The old, tired WordPress versus high-level SEO debate. The source material basically just dismisses it, calls it irrelevant, an apples and oranges comparison.
Which is, it's such a necessary clarification.
Yeah.
They serve different masters. WordPress has been around for, 20 years?
Decades, yeah.
It has this huge historical authority, a massive plugin ecosystem, and its entire focus is on content and websites. That's it. HighLevel, on the other hand, does a million other things.
CRM, funnels, messaging.
But it's a whole business operating system. The website is just one piece of the puzzle.
And here's where it gets really interesting for you, the learner, no matter what tool you're on. The strategic priority. It's completely flipped in local search.
It really has.
We used to use the Google Business Profile, the GBP, as sort of a supporting actor, right? It pointed back to our big authoritative website. The GBP power the site.
Now that's completely reversed. The overwhelming strategic focus has to be local SEO and ranking that Google Business Profile first.
So you use the website to power up the GBP.
Exactly. You use the site and all its assets to power up the GBP. The insight here is that Google is prioritizing the verifiable business entity. The thing it can confirm exists in the real world over just some hosted web page.
Especially in a managed platform environment like HighLevel.
Right. Google trusts the verified entity more than the website itself.
And it's important to note this is an advanced approach. It's really geared toward those super competitive, high-dollar industries. We're talking roofing, legal, specialized medical.
Multi-location businesses, for sure.
Yeah, the sources are clear on this. These tactics are probably overkill if you're, optimizing a dog walking service in a small town.
You don't need a sledgehammer for a thumbtack.
Exactly. You need this level of sophistication when the basic checklist stuff just gets you nowhere against serious competition.
So if we move from that high-level strategy down to the tactical layer, let's talk about technical and on-page SEO.
The basics.
The basics. And the content confirms that things like, header tags, title tags, a logical menu, that's just the price of admission now.
You're just earning your seat at the table.
That's the perfect phrase for it. It's mandatory, but it's absolutely not enough to win anymore. Not in competitive markets.
And this is where the platform choice, the fact that HighLevel is a hosted managed solution, really starts to dictate the strategy you have to take.
Precisely. Because it's a managed platform, you just don't have control over a lot of the deep technical SEO elements.
Right.
A WordPress user on their own server, they can get under the hood and tweak the engine. You can't. Server administration, resource allocation, server-level caching, that's all outside of your control.
So if half of the game board is basically locked down, the source material argues we have to shift our focus. We put all our chips on the few areas we do control.
Which is all about pure, undeniable authority signals.
But before we get there, what can you actually do on the technical side in HighLevel, given those limits?
You're mostly limited to optimizing the assets themselves. So think heavy image compression, custom code modification, like compressing your JavaScript or CSS to cut down on page weight.
So you're polishing the car, but you can't redesign the engine.
Perfect analogy. And because that core technical piece is restricted, it forces your hand. It means you have to compensate by just aggressively dominating off-page and authority signals.
Which brings us neatly to off-page optimization. This is the highest ROI area, and the source material explicitly says it's, quote, where most SEO gurus in high level completely miss the boat.
This is the competitive advantage. When the technical playing field is leveled, this is where you win.
And it all starts with advanced GBP optimization. We're not just talking about filling out your business hours.
No, much deeper.
You have to use the Q&A section with strategic answers that reinforce your expertise. You need really optimized service descriptions. And, maybe most critically, reputation management with optimized replies.
Yes. You can't just use boilerplate thanks for the review anymore.
No way. Those replies have to reinforce your keywords, your services, your location signals.
And this is where a huge, kind of surprising detail comes out in the source material. You need to think way beyond just getting a high volume of 5-star ratings. The big secret is that not all reviews are weighted equally.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying if I have 100 5-star reviews from, like, brand new Google accounts, that's less valuable than maybe 10 reviews from established, active local guides?
That is exactly what it's saying. Google assigns more value to reviews based on the reviewer's own authority and the rich content they include.
So a detailed review from a known local guide is gold.
It's worth so much more than a quick drive-by 5-star. Focusing purely on volume is. It's an outdated tactic. You need to focus on the quality and authority of the reviewer and encouraging them to use specific keyword-rich language. That's a huge strategic change for most people.
That one insight alone is worth the whole deep dive. Okay, so after that, we move into citations.
Right, your directory listings.
You can do it yourself, use a done-for-you provider, maybe even look at a tool like Yext if you have a bunch of locations. But no matter how you get them, there's one massive step that the source says 99% of high-level users just miss.
And that crucial step is indexing those citations.
Explain that.
A citation is just a listing on some other website. If Google doesn't know it exists, it does nothing for your authority profile. It's like sending out a fleet of ships, but forgetting to tell naval headquarters where they went.
So you're building all this authority out there, but Google Search Console has no idea.
Exactly. Indexing is how you tell Google to register that signal.
And authority is really what we're building here, right? A lot of that comes from backlinks. If we connect this back to the big picture, getting backlinks is how you establish the business as a subject matter expert, an SME.
Yeah. What we're really doing is telling Google's algorithms, and now the AI models, to see this business entity as the go-to trustworthy voice in its specific local niche.
And that recognition is everything now.
It's absolutely key. The discussion around backlinks has to cover, the basic terms follow versus no follow, what to look for in a quality link. And you have to be actively using tools to disavow toxic backlinks that could hurt you.
I saw the source mention using custom GPTs for that.
It's a game changer. You can use them to analyze a backlink profile so much faster, find opportunities, and spot risks. It's an incredible efficiency game.
So if building that SME status through backlinks is so critical, how does that translate into winning the most valuable real estate on the page right now? The AI overview.
That's the million-dollar question.
This authority strategy feels like it's now an absolute mandate if you want to be visible there. You have to become one of the sources the AI is citing.
You do. And this is where we get into advanced media assets. AI algorithms are designed to scrape and synthesize trusted info from a whole bunch of different mediums. If all you have is a flat, text-based website, you're limiting your chances.
You're not feeding the machine what it wants.
You've got to feed the machine. Give it diverse, authoritative content.
And one of the most powerful but also most misused tactics here is the press release.
Oh, for sure.
We're not talking about a press release as a general marketing blast. That's what most people screw up. We're talking about it as a dedicated SEO authority tool.
The structure and the strategy have to be highly optimized for indexing and for maximizing that distribution signal. And using something like ChatGPT to draft them is a huge time saver.
So you can focus on the actual strategy.
Right, which involves consistent structured distribution. The sources really stress spacing out your monthly distribution. You treat it like a regular, sustained authority signal that just constantly tells the search engines that you are relevant right now.
And building on that, asset syndication becomes vital. This is about using multimedia video, audio, high-quality images, and then knowing where to syndicate that content.
And critically, applying specific embed and geo signals.
Okay, what does that mean? Geosignals.
I mean, you're tying that powerful external asset back to your specific local business. things like geotagging your photos or using location-specific language in your video embeds. It creates this undeniable link between your high-authority content and your physical location.
Which is everything when you're trying to dominate a GeoGrid ranking system.
Exactly.
And I mean, it seems obvious to say, but none of this matters if the assets are invisible.
Nothing. Indexation is the final force multiplier. If your pages, citations, press releases, media, if they aren't indexed, they just don't exist to the search engine. It's that simple.
So what are the steps?
It's some administrative work. You have to understand your sitemaps. You have to manually submit URLs in Search Console. And then you have to use what the source calls some secret tricks of the trade for DIY indexing, especially when Google is being slow.
And they mention a couple of crucial specifics here. First, reindexing pages after you make big on-page changes.
Yes, you can't just wait for Google's slow crawl schedule. You need to tell it you made an update so it registers quickly.
And second, something called KML files. They call this a powerful force multiplier.
KML is keyhole markup language. It's basically a geographic blueprint for Google. It allows you to force this really strong, undeniable link between your content and a precise physical location.
And why is that so important for a high-level user?
Because you have fewer technical controls on the back end. So you must use tools like KML files to force the geographical relevance that maybe a WordPress user can get in other ways. It's another way to compensate.
And finally, you tie it all back to the strategy-first approach. You have to measure it.
You have to.
The sources hammer this home. Set up GeoGrid reporting. For anyone listening, that's a system that generates heat maps showing you exactly where you rank in a local radius, block by block.
And that GeoGrid feedback loop, along with advanced attribution reporting, is what proves your effort is actually turning into revenue. Without that hyperlocal tracking, you are flying completely blind. This reporting is what proves that pivoting from technical obsession to authority building is the path to winning.
So, okay, let's summarize this for you, the learner. We've basically established that because HighLevel is a managed solution with technical limits, you have to pivot. You have to pivot aggressively away from obsessing over technical checklists.
Right, and pivot toward advanced off-page strategies.
Exactly. It means moving from just the on-page basics to building this undeniable, comprehensive authority. And you do that through fully optimized GBPs that prioritize authority reviews.
Index citations, a structured backlink profile that makes you a subject matter expert.
And consistent geosignaled media syndication. I mean, that's the only scalable path to actually compete and win in those high-dollar local industries.
And if you understand that strategy first thinking, the why behind it all, about entity recognition and AI trust, you can then modify the tactics to fit any industry or any competitive level you're up against. You're not just following a simple to-do list.
You understand the mechanics.
Exactly. Which I think raises an important question for you to mull over until our next deep dive.
Go on.
Given this whole reliance on brand authority, and specifically that little detail that not all reviews are weighted equally, what's the action item? If just chasing review volume is an outdated tactic, what strategy change does that actually require from your business? Should you change your review request process to maybe prioritize users with high local guide status? Or maybe focus on giving customers templates that encourage that descriptive, keyword-rich content now that you know those are the reviews Google truly values? Something to chew on.